Alright, so we'll go ahead and get started. You know what? What? You know what these fires remind me of?
Hell, the fire in my soul.
No, I took this vacation once in Costa Rica, and there were like fires on the beach people would light at night. And it was really nice. You know? You want to hear about my story when I went to Costa Rica?
Yes.
Alright, it was kind of a bad experience, but okay. Now,
Wow.
over the summer.
Is this a real story?
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Listen.
No, it's not.
Over the summer, I went to Costa Rica, okay? Now, why would you want to go to Costa Rica? You may wonder. Well, I didn't know either, but you know what? I figured I would try it, okay? So I didn't want to go, but I figured I'd what? Try it, okay?
Trying is awesome.
Well, I get there, and if you know Costa Rica, it's got like all these tropical forests. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to take a stroll through the tropical forest, and I did. And there were birds in the forest. And they were calling, quah, quah, quah. Okay? So what were the birds in the forest calling? Quah, quah, quah. Okay, let's see if y'all remember. So I didn't want to go to Costa Rica, but I'd go ahead and try it. And the birds in the forest were calling, quah, quah. Well, one of the birds was angry that I was there. She didn't want me to be there. He was not happy that I was there. He had all this pent-up anger. You see a fire in his eyes? Okay. So what did he have? What kind of anger did the bird have? Pent-up anger. So we'll start from the beginning. So I didn't want to go to Costa Rica, but I go ahead and try it. The birds in the forest were calling. Okay, one of the birds had what kind of anger? Pent-up anger. Well, in his pent-up anger, he put a hex on me. So in his pent-up anger, he shot his eye beams at me, and he put a hex on me. So what did he put on me? A hex. So I didn't want to go to Costa Rica, but I go ahead and all the birds in the forest were calling. One of the birds, he had all this pent-up anger. And what did he do in his pent-up anger? He gave me what? A hex.
So it's going to be 7.
Okay.
Ooh, 3, 4, 5,
You catching
6.
on to my story?
I knew this from the beginning.
Was it in the news or something? All right. Next. So the whatchamacallit, the hex, it burned my tongue.
I get it.
The hex, it burned my tongue, and I couldn't speak right.
7 is hecto.
Okay. It burned my tongue, and I couldn't speak right. While I was in this hex, I was trying to call for help, but all that came out was hept. Help me, because my tongue was burnt. So I cried for help. But what did it sound like? Help. So I didn't want to go to Costa Rica, but I go ahead and the birds were calling. And then one of the birds had what? Pent-up anger. In his anger, he gave me a what? A hex. I cried out for help, but it sounded like helped. Okay, now. You know where this is going? Next, arms and legs started growing out of my body. Okay? My body. It was growing out of my body, and I started to look like an octopus.
Where did you get that?
Okay? So, when the hex took its effect, what did I turn into? An octopus. I didn't want to go to Costa Rica, but I go ahead and the birds in the forest were calling. One of the birds had what? Pent-up anger, and in his anger he gave me a what? A hex. I cried for help, but all that came out was hept. And then the hex took control of me, and I turned into what? Octopus. Well, octopus, if you don't know, they have a big appetite. Really hungry. And I was really hungry. I was starving. So I went to this restaurant. I was looking. I was like, I had this craving because my tongue was burnt. I need to soothe the tongue with something cool. So I went ahead and got me some non-fat yogurt. Okay? So to quench my burning tongue, what did I get? What kind of yogurt? Non-fat yogurt. All right, let's run through this. Let's see if y'all remember. So, didn't want to go to Costa Rica, but go ahead and try it. The birds were calling what? And one of the birds had what kind of anger? Pent-up anger. And then his anger, what did he give me? A hex. When I called for help, it came out as hep. And then I grew the arms and looked like a octopus. And I was hungry and my burnt tongue, so I got what kind of yogurt? Non-fat yogurt. Well, showing up like an octopus to the restaurant, okay? Manager freaked out. It's like, whoa, 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 whoa. I don't serve your kind here. And I was like, I'm hungry, you know? Just give me some non-fat yogurt. And he's like, all right. You can have the yogurt. You're just going to have to... You can't eat it in the restaurant. You're going to have to eat it out on the deck. So, where could I eat the yogurt?
Oh my gosh.
Where could I eat the yogurt out on?
On the deck.
On the deck. So,
Please tell me this is it.
here's the story. So, I didn't want to go to Costa Rica, but I go ahead and try it. All the birds in the forest were calling, quack, quack. One of the birds didn't want me to be there, and he had all this. And then his pent-up anger, he gave me a what? A hex. And then it burned my tongue, and when I cried for help, what did it sound like? Hex. And then I grew arms and looked like I was hungry, so I went and got some non-fat yogurt. Wouldn't let me eat it in the restaurant, so they made me go out on the deck.
What about 11?
No, that's the end of this.
That's it. That's the end of the story when I was in Costa Rica.
Alright, now, so for real, did you ever go to Costa Rica?
Yeah, I just told you the
And did
story.
you really turn into an octopus?
Yeah. I'm your teacher. I would never lie to you.
That's a lot right there.
All right. So, what do you think the story's about?
I have no idea.
Oh, what about the
Shapes.
The shapes.
You were trying to get shape.
All right. So, let's go ahead and get started. Go ahead and title today's notes, classifying